I did not want this to happen. Mahav and I have been together for 26 years, since we were both 15 years old. We have had good and bad times. Recently, in the last 2 years, we have had a traumatic experience in our lives. Without going into detail, I was accused of something I did not do in my business. We lost everything, our home, business, and not to mention the trauma it caused on our kids. My wife and I are like best friends. We do everything together. We are that couple that everyone says they want to be just like us. I have had a terrible time the last 2 years. Fighting so hard against the accusations against me are almost paralyzing. But I had my rock with me, my wife. About 5 to 6 months ago, my wife thought she was getting early menopause. We are both 40. She said she felt different. Then a few months back she got physical, almost over the top. Then a bombshell this week. In this worst of times, she says she loves me but is not in love with me anymore. I was floored. I do not know how to read this. Is it the trauma? Menopause. It crushed my soul. To say I am devastated is an understatement. Yet, I am trying so hard to stay logical. I was going to move out, but we have 2 young kids, 15 and 9. She asked why I was so desperate to leave. That confused me. I said to her, "You just said you don't love me. Am I supposed to stay?" Then we spent the day talking. It is not another man. I know this. Not because I am blind, but because she would have no time, and we are always together here or working. We are so intertwined into each other's lives. I know it's not that. She cried and did not understand why she did not have that in love feeling for me anymore. Now, there have been times in this 26-year relationship that I have not always felt in love, but in my heart I was with her. Would never leave, and it came back. We talked and she was saying some things that did not make sense to me. She still wanted to support me in my troubles with the business and legal stuff. Long story short, we agreed to stay in the home for the kids and live as partners for the family. She knows I love her more than life. When I asked her if this loss of love is permanent and if so, I must move on, she couldn't answer the question. She said literally, "I can't answer that." What am I to make of all this? She does this at the worst possible time, and to outsiders like my family and friends she will look like a monster. She is already to a select few that know about it. To do this to your husband at this time of need is pure evil. That it was, some are saying. Could this be menopause? Stress? She also stated that maybe she can't take watching me endure all these traumas, and it's a protect measure for her. A way out of bad things. I don't see or think that way, so it is hard for me. I am not upset at her. I am upset in general. I do not know what this all means. She does not hide her phone from me or computer or anything, but I am sure I am probably being willfully blind. This is all new territory for me. When I said I would leave, she was shocked by that, saying, "Why are you so desperate to leave?" I said, "Why would I stay when I am not loved?" There were weird things leading up to this. The stress of my situation, her thinking she was in early stages of menopause, then she got physical, then depressed. Now this. Do I think this is her imbalance? To hear the one you love most in life tell you they no longer love you is heart-tearing and uncharted waters for me. Again, unless she has a texting affair going on, she literally works and comes home, just like me. We are always together. Financially we are good now. She just started working again 3 to 4 weeks ago. So, together we are all set there. We have not seen a MC. Doing some reading, and you must be careful with the internet because there is good advice, but a lot of revenge-minded and hurt people as well. I guess my issue mainly is why after all these years would she do this at the worst possible time, when I need her most. Seems evil, and I almost view her as a monster. Yet, I love her more than life itself. If you mean an affair, there is not one. I have access to all her phone records, texts, data, PC, etc. I do all the bills and home stuff. There is nothing, and she has always been a very honorable person. Yes, I know that sounds naive. I do, but checking everything, there is nothing. She just may either have severe hormone issues, which is in her family, or she just truly does not love me anymore. I am a man that loves to be with his woman. I love my wife, and everything I think in life of doing, I want my wife with me. I come home every day from work so excited to see my babies and my queen. I drink socially. I do not go out with the buddies all the time. I share household responsibilities with my wife, and most important, I have always given her time. Meaning, she needs her space as a human. I gave it her. I do not track her. I do not bicker, and I do not just agree with her. Of course, I have faults, but we overcome them. There was a time a few years back where I was not really in love with my wife either, but inside I loved her. I gave it time to see what was wrong, and I came back. Yet at the most crucial time of my life, the most personal, trying time for me, she unloads this on me. We started out working together, equal in pay. My business took off, and for 6 to 8 years she got to be a stay-at-home mom, which she loved, and I loved we could do that. Then they came and destroyed our home, business, and everything else over lies, to put it quickly. We still are 2 years out from the aftermath, but I do not make what I used to, not even close. I am still the main moneymaker. I work long 10 to 12-hour days. We are on our way back up. I love the fact that we got back up off the floor and would not stay down. This was a complete shock. I know she does not really want to work, but it may only be temporary as my job has potential to get me back to previous income levels. She is not a shallow person, and well, maybe all these years she is something I thought she could never be. I am facing the end of this 2-year nightmare and she springs this on me now. Currently, evil. Is she a monster? She wants to live here together for the kids as partners. Nothing changes except our intimacy, which will not exist. It becomes business-like. I agreed, as hard as it would be because I love her and my babies more than anything. Do I leave her alone for the time being? Do I push for MC? Do I push for closure? Do I leave? Does she? Without being sappy. I am so lonely without her. I may sound squishy on here as my hair is hurt, but I am in no way passive with her. Meaning, I didn't cry, beg, or any of that. I gave her a choice. I said, if this is permanent and what you want, I will not stay, period. I also will not come back in 6 months if you change your mind. Once I am gone, I am gone. I will not play a back and forth game. That is not fair to me. If I stay, it's for the kids and you are a bit confused still and have not made a decision. She agreed with staying. I guess maybe I feel I may be getting set up for something. I am in decent shape. I have been told many times by women that if it fails with my wife, come look for them. This is not bragging. I am no male model, but I am a good, loyal, and loving man. Over the years I have had women hit on me knowing I was married. I even have one at work that flirts. It does not last long because I have no interest outside my wife. I am also madly in love with her. If she were cheating, it would certainly be a deal breaker. That is the one thing that would end it all forever. As for her job, it is her old job she got back after our incident 2 years ago. She tried to work but could not be due to PTSD. She is trying again. She wants me to stay. She still wants to be involved in my situation. She will still be a parent, yet she is not in love anymore. This is hard for me to understand. She came home tonight, talked like we always do, called me honey, and we even shared a joke or two like we always do. I am not pushing yet or anything as I am trying to wrap my head around it. Premenopause, PTSD, I do not know. As for making myself sound like the perfect husband, I can admit I am far from it. I tend myself to be a bit self-centered. I can be distant at times and I do say things I do not mean. As for my wife, she generally is a great woman. She is a wonderful mom and has been a great wife. If I came off as a bit conceited, it was not my intent. I just meant overall I am a good husband, or strive to be. For the cheating, her job is not a usual one. She does not really have co-workers she is with. She is on her own during the day, mail carrier. I have seen her text records, voice data, phone numbers, computer, etc. Not because I spy, but because we use each other's stuff for bills and stuff, and there is nothing at all. We talked this morning and I asked her if she is willing to go to MC and she said yes immediately. She also explained that she thinks maybe because of the trauma of the last 2 years she is trying to avoid more pain by separating herself from me. This makes sense because my wife grew up in a terrible household. She had abusive parents, not physically but just did not care about the kids. She had seen terrible things, and the way my wife deals with things is to separate and cut off her emotions. I have seen it with her mom and other things. She cried this morning and said maybe if she cuts me off, she will not have to watch me go through any more pain and watch us both hurt constantly. I do not deal with things that way, so it is hard for me to understand. She has always dealt with things that way. I believe her. I think I am just so afraid of being a sucker. I guess. Everything I read says it is most likely she is cheating on you. If she is in my case, it would have to be an affair of extreme limited time, and I mean almost none. She is always at work or at home with me. I am gone by 6:30 a.m. for work and she gets up at 7:30 and takes the kids to school, then heads into work. I get home around 5 p.m. and she does as well. Then we are both home for the night. Her texts are clean, no calls, no PC chatting or anything. The only thing I can think of is we are both kind of gaming freaks. We play online games. Could she be in an emotional affair online with someone she does not even know? I see her playing. She does not hide the chatting. She gets on the online voice to talk to her game mates but never hides her conversation. Her door is open and she even plays the game with my daughter at times. So confusing. She has also stated when I brought up the possibility. She said, "Are you serious? You know I am not really an intimate person and could live my life alone." Which is true. She is not a typical girl, generalizing, who needs a lot of intimacy and emotional support. She is very strong that way, maybe due to her upbringing. I am going to give it a try since she wants to go to MC. If it doesn't work, I am gone for good, as much as I love her. If that happens, I will never come back, as I stated before to her. I will move on and find someone in the second half of my life that enjoys what I do. Being truthful though, I am having a hard time with her timing of all this, right when I needed her most. It is cold and evil to me. Here are her exact words. "I am just not in love with you. I am done with it. I love you but not like in a husband way. I feel bad if we live together for the kids because I know how intimate and physical you are. I will also say my wife was never a real physical person even from the beginning. So, I spent a lot of my 26 years chasing her for it. She never held back completely, but it was not easy, and I am a very physical person. I do feel I have to say this as well. I don't know how important it is now, but it may be a maybe I should have known moment years ago. When we were 19 years old, we had already been dating for 4 years exclusively, and then out of nowhere I got the same thing. I don't love you anymore, and she broke up with me. It hurt, but we weren't married, and so for a month or two I tried to do stupid things like buy her flowers, leave love letters, etc., and none of it worked. Well, she then got a new boyfriend, and so I got a girlfriend. After about 4 months apart, I had completely moved on. She was good friends with my sister, so I would see her at my mom's house from time to time, and I did not care. I was with my new girlfriend, and my wife saw her as well. I will never forget, it was New Year's Eve at 2 a.m. and I get a random call from my wife. I was shocked. She had said she made a big mistake and wanted to get back together. I told her it took me 2 months to get over you and now you want back. I said sorry, too late. Well, she now persisted, calling, telling me she will not stop until she gets me back, and honestly, I was still in love with her. She got me back, and within a year I went into the military. We got married and started our life together in Germany. That was 21 years ago. Should I have known then, or is that a stretch? I promised my daughter I would not leave. I feel since she is the one that lost the love, she should be moving out. Yet, there is a part of me that knows she has always had these issues about cutting things off that cause her pain. The last thing she said was, "Maybe am I cutting you out because I can't stand to see you in any more pain?" At first I was like, BS. But this is how she had handled things in the past. Just cut it off. I am already making plans to move on. Taking bonding and intimacy away from me is cruel enough, but then having to play the everything is normal game on top of that. No, I am willing to work on it through AMC, but I will not let this go on. At some point I will end it completely, and I told her once I am gone for good. She wants nothing to do with men, including me. She has always told me before that if it were not for me, she could live perfectly happy alone. She was never boy crazy or a man chaser. I was her first real boyfriend even though we were 15. I do not know why she is punishing me. Maybe she just truly lost all love for me. It can happen, I guess. I don't feel the same. I love her more than life, but I cannot make her feel what she does not. The timing of this is going to make her look like a monster. The few people that know here are already telling me they think she is evil for this at this point. She said to me, "You know I can live without intimacy, but I don't think you can, and I understand that is not fair to you." She is an amazing woman. She really is. That is why this is hard. Then again, maybe she is evil and I am just an in-love sucker. Anything I do at this point I will do for my children. Maybe a few years ago I would have waited longer or agreed to whatever she wanted, but not now. At this point in my life, I want a wife. I want someone to be there with me through the bad and good. I look forward to slowing down, traveling, the kids being older and on their own. I look forward to those times with a wife. My wife is who I want that to be, but she does not feel it and I cannot make her, nor can she make me wait for her, and I will not. At some point soon I must move on, and when I do it is permanent. To be honest, the only reason I am even still in this home or not having her leave is the children. At some point thought, does it hurt the kids to be in a home where one parent doesn't love the other and would be better to live apart? Well, kind of a breakthrough last night. I sat down and talked with my wife for 2 hours. I laid it all out and we went back and forth. I finally got her to open and talk. She admits she is battling major depression with all that is happening. Because of this, he has absolutely no intimacy urges or feelings. She knows how important it is to me, and that makes her feel worse. I said to her, "I can deal with that and I want to help you with that, but I must know right now. Is there a love issue?" She looked at me confused and said, "Never. I love you as always and will never stop, but I am just not intimate right now. It is the furthest thing from my mind." I asked what this whole "I love you but" was all about. She said she did not know of any other way to explain it. I told her, "If you love me, I will of course stay and work with you on this. We can get help for you and our marriage." She was instantly agreeable. For the first time I did see the disparity and despair in her eyes. Remember, she is a master of hiding emotions, as I stated earlier. Her drinking is taking a big turn back to being excessive, which is another issue we must remedy. I have pretty much ruled out another man. Here is why. She works alone. She does not go back to the mail office to get mail. She in on a contract basis. They give her her truck and she go. She texts me randomly when she can during the day. She does not text, no chat rooms, phone records clean, and is always home with me. I thought she could have met a guy who talks with her online with her gaming. Yesterday I made the comment, "That game looks fun, maybe I will join and play with you," and she excited. She said, "I am surprised you wouldn't like this game. If you do play you can join my group I am in." And she plays in the group with my daughter as well. She has no history of it, let alone really liking men. She would be classified as a functioning alcoholic. She drinks and has tried to quit and cannot. It is another thing she is working on. Her father passed at 42 from alcohol. The PTSD is my main concern. I am ex-wartime military. I know those effects, and couple that with she is not an intimate person to begin with. I am leaning towards this. I told her, if she loves me, I will walk through the fire with her and do all I can for her and us. I also said if you truly have lost all love for me, I will move on and never look back, period. I don't say that to be mean. I say it because me and anyone in a situation like me deserves to be able to seek out love. This kids never see her drink. She hides it from them. 90% of the time she does drink. She does not get fall drunk. That is very rare. Yet, she is still drinking. I think the PTSD is severe. Maybe I am just an idiot, but she has shed other things she loved. Example, springtime, she used to love doing a garden, tinkering in the yard, fixing things, etc. You could not keep her in the house. This year and last, she has absolutely no interest and have done nothing. House, she loves to paint, hang pictures, change furniture, curtains, etc. She has done none of that in months. She used to love going out to eat, tinkering around in stores, and now she barely has enough to go food shopping. I feel like an idiot. I should have seen all this. She is the type that will and has agreed to MC in her own. See, this event in our lives messed her up pretty good. Even though I was the center of it, I think I did not calculate enough the effect on her. As for her drinking, I cannot gauge it enough yet. She says without drinking, then drinks for 3 days straight. Not fall drunk, but a good buzz. She has tried to get help before for it. She tries, she does. At this point I am all in to help her, of course. I don't think it is anything else but depression and PTSD. Well, apparently, she has no will for bonding or any passion. She wants to live as business partners. She wants all the help, all the co-parenting, the combined income, but none of the wife or husband duties as in passion, intimacy, and closeness. What would you men do when confronted with this? I think it is beyond acceptable. She doesn't know if this is a temporary feeling or permanent. Here are my thoughts. If this is an issue within in her, I will work on it. If this is a more permanent thing, I am out of this marriage. That is not a marriage where one person decides they are done having bonding. Bonding is an important part of marriage. It is who we are. I am sick of hearing, mostly women, that bonding should not be a main point of marriage. Absolute BS. We are built that way. I love my wife and I want lots of bedtime. I would even settle for some bonding. I will never settle for nothing physical or extreme minimal amounts. Bonding is one of the most important things in a marriage. This is exactly what she said just this morning. I am perfectly happy right now. I am happy working and coming home to you and the kids. Is not that nice that she is happy shedding all intimacy and passion with someone she is supposed to love? Does she expect me to say, oh, well, as long as you're happy? As days go by, I get more and more resentful. The way she acts as though nothing is wrong bothers me to no end. On another note, I have someone I have known for years who I know always wanted to be with me. She sends me messages on FB and stuff. Nothing even remotely flirty at all, but she told me years ago that she would love to be with me, and if anything happened where my wife and I split. Look her up. I am very attracted to her, probably more now due to this, but I will never dishonor my wife. Ever. It is not an option for me. I know it is silly currently, but I am a bit old-fashioned that way. I will not start flirting with this woman. What hurts is I really want to, and my instincts are hard to push aside. Days later. So today it came out. She does not love me as a husband. We agreed to stay in the home for the kids. I do not know if that is the right decision, but that is it for me. As far as intimacy, I will move on to get it. As for her, I no longer care. She was not on her phone. She just says she fell out of love with me. I cannot change her feelings, and no longer will I be held hostage to try and make it work. I will move on and find someone that wants to be with me. The only reason I am staying or not telling her to move is my daughter. She made me promise not to leave. I will do the 180. That will be easy now. The resentment I have for her is hard to take right now. After 3 talks previously, she gave me different stories. At first, she gave the "not in love with you" speech. So, when I threatened to leave, she gave me the "why are you so desperate to leave" answer, which confused me. Our second conversation, she stated, "I love you. I just have issues right now," and I was all in to help her. Last night was completely different again. These are the phrases she used. "I will always love you. We spent 26 years together. I care about what happens to you. I don't love you in a husband way. I want to stay in the home for the kids and be here for the kids, but separated. I am not physically attracted to you." When I asked, "It hurts me to hurt you like this." As for cheating or an affair, she insists there is not one. She just says she is not even remotely physical anymore, and to her credit, she never really was. I had to chase her a lot of this marriage. If she is cheating, it is at work because she is always either home or there at work. She is always around. Her texts are clean. Her emails are clean. I searched her history. I repair computers and build them. I know how to retrieve deleted items and scan mem changes. There is nothing there. I think at this point she wants to be a walk-away wife, at a time when I needed her most. She does this. I don't think at this point I could even go back. My sadness now and my confusion is for my children. I don't know what the right choice is or wrong as far as staying. She is a good mother. I would never say otherwise. As for me, I do not think this in-home separation is going to work. I cannot look at her without resentment and a bit of hate on the timing of all this. I am seriously thinking of getting a small apartment. I gave 26 years of my life to this woman and she had no problem telling me her feelings. Well, here is mine. I will not live in a loveless marriage. There are far too many women out there that would love to have what I can offer. Stability, love, fun, and affection. If she decides 6 months down the road, she wants back in. Too late. I loved her, but words that are said in 10 seconds can scar a lifetime and you cannot take them back. Well, tonight I have decided to tell her I am leaving. I have been reading a lot and most agree that it is harder for the kids to stay in a loveless marriage. Besides, she is unwilling to get personal help to see if it is PTSD, depression, etc. She seems pretty convinced she just does not love me anymore. So, I will move on. If the day comes, she wants back in, I will not be there. Well, she did not take that too well, but she accepted it. Shows me she does really want to move on. She cannot afford it here without me. She makes less than a 1/3 of what I do. She cried, but she cried for herself. We talked calmly. I was straightforward and quiet. She must not love me as she is willing to let me leave. She looks miserable, crying, walking in limbo, but I did not do this. She is the one that wanted it to end and then stay for my money only. I must worry about my kids here with no money. I already got approved for a 2-bedroom apartment in a tower building close by. I told her these are the consequences of her choices. I will always be here for the kids, no matter what. So sad, so darn sad. I do not know what she is doing. I do know she can't afford the home without me. She will not make it, which makes this all worse. I don't think I have any authority to take the children. I also do not want them to resent me. This is hard. I don't want to make wrong choices for these kids. She tried to play the victim last night, at least to me. She said, I just know that I can never make you happy. Such a cop-out and fantasy. But I stayed calm, did not lash out. Seems I am getting good at that. She also used the Adam Walsh analogy. Do you all remember the little boy in the 80s that was kidnapped and found later murdered? I am sure most of you do. Well, Mrs. Walsh said later when they divorced 2 years later. She just could never be the same after that, which is understandable. My wife said she thinks that is how she feels. She does not want to love anyone or anything but her kids after our traumatic event 2 years ago. Do I buy it? Maybe, but I can only go on my own feelings, and the one person besides my kids I was all in for forever was my wife. Her face was a bit shocked, and I was talking to her. The apartment place called and said I was approved for a 2-bedroom in their tower. Yet, she is not rethinking anything or showing it. She cried hard and said odd things, but that was about it. It is crazy. She can't survive without me and she can't provide for those kids without me. We own a home. I told her if she had love for me, I would work with her. Get her help, whatever it took. At first, she said she did love me but was not intimate or affectionate. Then it came out that in her words, I do not love you as a husband. It is when all bets are off. She is taking a beating from friends and family, and that is not what I wanted, but for her to do this at this time is just downright cruel. Maybe it shows who she truly is, since she is willing to struggle and not make it at the expense of not loving me. It is obvious she really does not love me. As far as an affair, I still don't see it. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. But she is always at work or home, and her job does not allow her to be anywhere but on her route. No texts, emails, chats online. The only thing she does, as I said before, is she is an online gamer. But she plays with my daughter from time to time. Maybe an emotional affair. I do not know. Well, I have decided a few things, and maybe I am stupid, but I can't get past these things. I am staying. Here is why. 1. She cannot live with those kids without me. Period. There is no other guy moving in or anything. If there is an affair, it's emotional on her game, which I will see. 2. I am an honorable man, maybe to a fault. I said for better, for worse. I have heard stories here locally and online that this has happened to others, and months, even years later, the one person wakes up. 3. I do believe she is sick and not making right choices. What kind of husband would I be if I walked out on a sick wife? Even though she is using words that are killing me, I am going to continue to get her help. 4. I will put my kids first, at least until they are old enough for this situation. My son needs me home. I won't abandon them. Once I use the key logger, if there is an affair, I leave and take the kids with me. That is a game breaker. She has just quit on everything. No garden. Everything is a chore for her. She does not talk much. Only wants to come home from work and either watch TV or play her game. I do believe she is sick, depression and PTSD. When I asked her, is you love loss permanent? Her response was, it feels like it now. Then I said, well, in 6 months you won't want me either then. She said I can answer that. I don't know. A week later, well, I have some news. I feel like an idiot. My wife was indeed having an emotional affair, and as many told me, it was through her game. It was all fantasy. No one knew each other's real names. It was all talk, flirting, in-game hugging, etc. I caught the chats in-game. I saw hidden online emails. Nothing truly disgusting or disturbing, but still giving her heart to another. When I confronted her, she broke down big time. Now, she is chasing me, telling me she will spend the rest of her life making it up to me. She slept cuddled next to me. She is texting me constantly because she is working. Her words are hurting me. How could I do this to such a great man? I don't deserve you. How could you ever love me again when you needed me most? Constant crying. I see such pain. And as much as I want to lash out and kick her out, I cannot. I still want to protect her, mostly because it was fantasy and she is truly sick. She shed so much of her old life with me. I cannot leave her sick. I feel like a fool. Well, he is not a name or face but text. They were flirting in game. He is literally on the other side of the country. It is cheating either way. She gave him what she was not giving me. I personally wrote this guy an email. Now I am caught between, is she real or is she saying what I want for protection against me throwing her out and exposing her? Some of her words. I cannot believe what I did to you. I am not right in the head. I need help. I would never have done things like this before. I will spend the rest of my life making this up to you. I was pushing you out because of shame. I do love you. That wasn't me, it was a fantasy world. She is sick. I must stay focused and remember all the other things she has stopped or done besides the online gaming fantasy affair. She stopped housework altogether except things that have to be done. She stopped tinkering in the house, which she loved. She stopped her garden and all outdoor activities, which she loves. She only did an hour or so of gaming here and there and then slept. Sometimes she would come home from work at 6 p.m. and be in bed by 7:30. The other day she called me after work asking why her car remote won't unlock the doors. She said even the key won't fit. Literally 2 minutes later she said, "Oh, my car. This is not my car." So, since she admitted this online affair, she has deleted all her email accounts, stopped gaming, wants help, and knows she is stuck in a deep depression. Tells me she is not better, but seeing what she has done, she does know inside she loves me but needs help to get released from this. She won't stop apologizing, and at least she is coming to me. She even said to me, if I were you, I wouldn't stay either for what I did to you, and how can you believe me now? Well, I won't leave my sick wife, and if I am the fool and it is all a game to buy time, then I at least can know I tried and honored our marriage through better or worse. Comments. Your wife is not suffering from some medical condition that has her in a depression. Your wife is in a depression because she misses her affair partner and the brain rush that he gave her. Studies show during the first few years of a romantic relationship the body releases a brain drug like cocaine that is very addictive. This addiction decreases over time in all relationship until it stops being released in a mature relationship. Nature hopes that by the time that this drug stops being released, the relationship will have other things that bond you together. After 26 years there is little chance that your wife can ever get this drug from you again. Only her new lover can give her this drug that she has become addicted to. Treating it like it is a medical condition gives her an excuse for her actions and increase the odds that she will turn again to her lover when the heat is turned down. There must be consequences, and she must fear really losing you for her to resist contacting her lover again in the future. The path that you are taking now will lead to her cheating again in the future. She will just be better at hiding it. Even though you want to, you cannot be too understanding. You cannot let her use the false medical excuse for her being lovesick. You must not sweep this under the rug. You must demand full no contact with her lover. You must demand full transparency, which includes all passwords without complaint. She must agree that deleting anything from anyone without you seeing it first is assumed cheating. You must contact an attorney and let her know that you are doing so. You must be willing to end the marriage to have a chance at saving it. Do not believe anything that she says, as her heart is still with the other man. She fears not having you there to support her world, but still wants the other man. Let her know that divorce is on the table unless she, through action over a long period of time, proves to you that she deserves another chance. Sorry to be so harsh, but you only get one chance at doing this right. Be well and good luck to you. OP responds, I saw my counselor yesterday and she did say to keep it all in perspective. Though she had an E, it is different, meaning she has some issues, and though she was ashamed doing it, she also told herself it was okay because it was fake. No names, not physical, no visuals, all text. It is not uncommon, she said. I forgave her, but I do have a hard time moving forward. I am such a loyal and honorable man. That is how I live my life. This to me is such a betrayal. I stab directly into my heart. I show her strength, but here I come to vent my heartbreak. Here are some of her words. I need you to know how truly sorry I am for this. I feel so ashamed. I will spend the rest of my life making this up to you. Please know I was taken by the fantasy. I don't think I can forgive myself. If you X yourself, I won't live, I will follow you. She cuddled and slept next to me. She at least hugged me and looks for me. All good signs, but she never says I love you unless I ask her if she does. When she says it, it rings a bit hollow, and she says it is because she still is pushing people away. Not just me, but her kids. She feels just as bad for being a robot to her kids as well. So, no bonding as of yet. For guys, it's a big deal. Therefore, I am so confused. My 99 said to keep it in perspective. PTSD and depression does funny things to the brain, especially after 26 years with no history of anything like this. My 99 said she escaped her issues by living a fake life online to talk to people who don't know her and can get some sense of worth. Even though she knew it was fake, when I caught her and confronted her hard, she broke. She did not break as in, now she was all back in love, but she said, and my IC agreed, that it snapped her out of a coma. She realized what life she was living and got disgusted with herself. She still has issues, but she says she knows now she wants her family back, to include me. This is the thing which I know no one can really answer but festers in my head. Is she real, or is this I will say anything to not get thrown out ploy? My 99 thinks is genuine because of the wording she is using and the willingness to get help. My problem is I am such a loyal man and live by honor. This is a betrayal so hard for me to take, even though it was just online with no pictures, etc. It is still an emotional affair. It is devastating because I cannot shake the pain. I also cannot shake the am I a fool to believe feeling. As far as actions, she has come to me every day and says she is devastated at what she did, crying and all. She says she wants her family back, all of it, kids, and me. She says she wants help and will get it. She has stopped gaming, emails, etc. I still have keylogger. She wanted to hang out last night and hugged me and held my hand for a bit. Now the bad. She still does not say I love you unless I do. Still no bonding. When she apologizes for the EA, she says it almost like a friend who forgot to pick up another friend for an important appointment. Meaning, she will say, I am so sorry for what I did to you. I know how important that is and I would have never guessed I am the one who would have done this. I think if there was love it would sound like this. I can't believe what I did to you. I love you so much, and to do this to you when you needed me most is almost unbearable. Am I wrong? 2 weeks later, just wanted to give you all an update. My wife has been all over me, and I do not mean just physically. She did something she never did before. She came down in front of me and the kids and apologized for being absent for these months and realized she was not well. She is getting help and wants to start repairing. She even took me aside and said I do love you, more than I ever knew. I am just so scared to love so much. She is coming back slowly. She is wanting to do things slowly again, doing my daughter's hair. Wants to paint my son's room, yard work this weekend. Things seem to be slowly coming back. Thank you all here for helping me through this. You have meant more to me in this short time than you realize. So, everything is going well. It is. I just have some resentment. I have some deep-seated hurt. Without being too corny, my heart is still real broken. I take these things so intensely. I feel so betrayed in one sense, and yet almost good that it was only a yawn over the internet, because it has seemed to snap her out of her deep hole. Or at least is pushing her upward. We painted today. She bought plants. We have had amazing bonding 3 times in less than 24 hours, which we have not done in years. I just can't seem to shake the hurt. Maybe I am not supposed to. Takes more time. I think we have had bonding every day since last week, sometimes twice. We have gone shopping, done things together. It has been great. She has been saying she loves me and sending texts thanking me and apologizing. Doing some thinking as well, and with the help of other members. This EA is a bit different than most because it was pure fantasy. Still hurts. I am not totally diminishing the effects. What I mean is, it was purely in-game based and fantasy. He was a 21-year college kid stuck at home with a disability. No pictures exchanged or anything. It was dirty talking, which hurts, but again, no video or anything. He has no idea what she looks like, and he sent her pictures which she didn't keep because it was about the fantasy. Yet, I know I will feel the betrayal for a while. Our HB has been great. Why is she sleeping so much with me? I can understand HB from my point, as to reclaim what is mine instinctually, but she is the aggressor as well. Is she reclaiming as well? Well, she used words like fog and coma. She is not claiming her depression is gone, of course. Only that seeing me in such pain woke her up to know she loved me and wanted her family back. Of course, there is a nagging feeling inside that maybe she is just playing a game because she knows if I go, her support goes, financial and parenting. I don't think this is the case because she genuinely comes to me now. She seems to be into me like when things were good before. Trust is now a word I keep repeating in my head. Positives besides the bonding. 1. She completely stopped her gaming. 2. She talks with me more and wants to discuss how to heal. 3. She is more active in the home with the kids and house. Things I do not like. 1. She has not taken any medicine. 2. Not seen her doctor as promised. 3. She does not come to me and ask me how I feel, or continue to apologize for the affair. It's almost like it never happened in her eyes. The reason I say this is because someone posted a while back in this thread that the betrayer should work extra hard to reassure their loved one to know it was a mistake and is over. I do not really get that from my wife. A month later, I think she was realizing what she was going to be without. Now I know that sounds vain, but I mean, I work. Make good money, keep in shape, I am a good father. Attentive, funny, and treat my wife as a queen. Of course, I have faults, who doesn't, but overall, I am a good catch, and that was seen by her that others were so quick to come to me. Sadly, I cannot believe they are so quick while married. It was a bit gross, to be honest. Update, we have been doing really well. It is clear to me no, she was not herself. Slowly she is recovering. The emotional affair was fantasy-driven and a way to escape. Not right, or not minimizing it at all, but I will also not make it what it was not. We continue to take it a day at a time. Everything is going okay. The problem is me. I do not know if I can get over the betrayal. I am trying so hard, but it never leaves my mind. It has been a month now and I drift back to it. It drives me crazy. There is a part of me that wants to walk away from it because I do not think I can ever trust again. I know this was not a typical affair or EA, but it hurts the same. I guess what I am saying is I do not think I can forgive her. I am trying, but the anger is still strong and the trust is completely gone. My comment: do you think you can forgive the emotional affair, or the relationship is broken? Comment down, and let me go grab a quick breakfast.